Hi, I'm Katie Fehrenbacher, and I'm with Group 2, and this is our video on the topic of generations. So we're just going to go over some important things that we thought maybe people should know about the topic, and then some ways maybe to battle the different generations in the workforce. So what I've done is I've got the different generations up here. There's 5 different generations in our workforce today. There's the traditionalists, which are also known as the silent generation. We've got the baby boomers, Gen X, Gen Y, or the millennials, which would be the generation I'm in, and then Gen Z, which is the newest generation in the workforce. So we'll just go over a little bit about each. There's definitely some strengths and weaknesses involved in all the different generations. So we'll start with the older generation. This is over age 75. So these people likely have already retired or are coming to the very probably end of their career and kind of phasing into that retirement life. So they value loyalty and respect, structure. This part here, kind of in some of the more maybe younger generations, you have this work-life balance. Well, this traditional generation, they really see the two as separate. So you have work and you have your home life, and they don't need to be balanced or commingled. And then they have this mantra, which is funny because I've heard my dad say this so many times, that if it ain't broke, why fix it attitude. And so I think that definitely fits their generation. And so then we've got the boomers, which at least in the bank where I work at, this is the generation of employees who are sort of phasing into that retirement. They've come to the end of their career. They may have 5-10 years left, but some of their characteristics, they're cautious about change. They like things to stay the way they are. They have a sense of duty. They like the chain of command. They like clear goals, specific deadlines, and then they do like the more authoritative type leadership style. They do like kind of the sense of duty, chain of command, someone in charge. And then we've got Gen X, which this is age 41-ish to 56. They have got a great work ethic. They like competence and skills to be respected. And they are a little bit more flexible, I guess, than the baby boomers. They're okay with change. They are loyal to their organization, but they also want a life outside of work. And then we've got the millennials, which would be my generation. We're often known, which since we're Gen Y, I think it's kind of ironic, we're the Y generation. We ask a lot of questions. So we want to know why something is the way it is, How can it be better? We have this desire for improvement. We want to provide value and also be valued. And then we're flexible, more adapt to change. So we grew up in this environment of advancing technology. So we're used to things just always changing. And then we, or at least in my experience, we were the generation where we kind of didn't have a choice about school. I remember my parents, you didn't really have another option. You were just going to college. So we really value education. And then also I think financial security is important to us and definitely to me as well. So then we've got this last generation, which these are 25 or younger. They're just now entering the workforce, whether that be out of high school or just freshly out of college. They are our most diverse generation. They want good pay, but they also do value a sense of purpose. And that generation, I forget the term, but there's a high percentage of them that only stay in one job for every so often. So they may change jobs after just a couple years. And I think it's because if they aren't valued where they're at, they'll just change jobs and go somewhere where they might be more valued. They like a culture that's built on inclusion, probably because of how diverse their age is. They like overall wellness, not just in the job, but also in their life. And they kind of want or desire personal connections. And then very idealistic. So as you can see, lots of different personality traits. I do think it's interesting. The bank branch where I'm at right now, we have employees probably that fit in all different of these generations. And I had them come look at the whiteboard, and it's pretty spot on, though definitely interesting how maybe a millennial could have some Gen Z qualities, or maybe a Gen X might have some millennial qualities. So I don't think that these are necessarily the end all be all, but definitely pretty representative, I think, on the different generations. And so as a group, we tried to come up with some ways to deal with these challenges. You know, got lots of different personalities, different strengths and weaknesses. So these were kind of 4 of the methods that we think, reading from the articles and collaborating with each other, that you can battle the different generations and really turn it into something positive instead of this constant, pull for authority or whatnot. So one thing, involve all the generations in the decision-making process. So while, the Gen Z may not be making the top tier decisions, give them a little rope. Let them make some decisions so they feel valued. And then, maybe your people who are on the way out, don't just shove them out the door. Still make them feel like there's decisions to be made and they're important. Motivation through rewards and goal setting. So I think especially maybe for this, the younger generations, we need specific goals. And that I think could bode well with, say, your baby boomer generation, who they like that. So maybe a way that they could help us younger people is to give us specific goals and deadlines, but also be cognizant of the fact that we may have questions along the way. Allow for personal and professional development. So basically what we mean there is, let us feel like we can grow in the organization. Don't feel like we're coming into this job and our hands are tied. So give us the tools and just open lines of communication to all hierarchies of positions. So that way, if we don't want to be where we're at forever, maybe we won't change jobs or change, employers. Maybe we'll just change jobs within the same employer. So give us that chance to develop ourselves and our job. And then just an overall focus on wellness and inclusion. So, maybe we have a social event that helps bring people together, develop relationships. Maybe we work for a nonprofit organization to help them do a fundraiser or something of that nature. So overall, our group thinks that these strategies can really help develop collaboration, cohesion, and give a company a competitive advantage. Thanks.